Let's talk about Rhamondre Stevenson real quick.
Yes.
So I can't remember exactly what we talked about in terms of Stevenson whenever we did like our running back shows and some values and things like that. I know we had mentioned Antonio Gibson being there in New England and how they went out and they got him pretty quick. Rhamondre had kind of a not so great year last year.
Injury stuff.
Production just wasn't all there. So, it was kind of one of those, do we just shy away from Rhamondre now this year? And then the news comes out. He gets a 4-year, $36 million extension, $17 million guaranteed, 6th highest paid running back in the NFL in total value of the contract. Like, to me, it's like the Patriots are just putting it on a billboard saying, we're running this offense through Rhamondre.
He's our guy. He's the only guy that we got. Yeah. So for me, Rhamondre Stevenson is a guy that last year I took as much as I could because I felt like he just kept falling. Like he was just such a great buy low guy for me. It's almost like a James Conner. Like you got an RB1 sitting there like far, down as far as rounds go. I'm with you. When they did the Gibson deal, I got kind of nervous because, you're bringing in a guy that can potentially, Rhamondre's thing was he was such a workhorse, once he finally got the opportunity, he's a workhorse back, every down back. And, so I'm like, I don't like that. And then, for me, I looked at the contract for Gibson after all this news comes out and I'm like, Gibson's basically like a throwaway piece.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? Like his money, I want to say just his base contract for just this year is like 1 point something million. And then there's bonus and incentives and stuff like that tied in. But like we're very big on the other podcast on follow the money, right? Follow the money. For me, this just says this is going to be the guy that's going to get us through this year. That's just going to probably be really rough. And I think a lot of people are kind of scared off on the Patriots, myself kind of included. So for me, this is like, I think he's even going to be potentially a farther down buy low. I'd be interested to see like, as far as like rankings where he's at, but you're getting an RB1 or at least an RB2 for your team super far down. I'm guessing he's slid down quite a ways, especially with last year and everything.
Yeah, I could look it up real quick, and I will in a second to see where his ADP's at. But I mean, this goes back to the CMC. If you grab CMC at 101, and then you wait for that 2-3 turn, you grab a couple of receivers, lock that in a little bit. Rhamondre is a great RB2 to get a little bit later on. I mean, you're absolutely right. And I was hearing some other analysts talk about the Alex Van Pelt, which we know very well being Cleveland Browns fans, and the offense that they ran here and what people are just assuming that they're going to implement in New England since he is now the offensive coordinator. And some of that, the offensive run schemes from Cleveland actually fit what Rhamondre does very well. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of optimism for Rhamondre's production this year.
I know. I've seen a lot of people too talking about they brought Gibson in just to be like the receiving back also, which he is great at that. But that was like something Rhamondre was really great at too. So for me, not only are you getting, the stud running back aspect of it, the workhorse back, but you're also getting a guy who can catch. And so for PPR, to me, no brainer. I'm looking these rankings up right now as we speak.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm super curious.
With Rhamondre, again, you kind of alluded to it, rookie quarterback, Jacoby Brissett / rookie quarterback.
Correct.
The passing game's not going to be anything magnificent in New England, so the offense is going to go through that run game. It's going to go through Rhamondre Stevenson. I think Antonio, you have to have more than one running back. So, it's a no-brainer. You got to bring somebody in. So I think he's a change of pace, kind of a spell guy. But I think it is going to be predominantly Rhamondre, and who knows, maybe Gibson, maybe they had a lot more expectations for him in the return game with this new kickoff rule. Maybe that was their vision for him, like, hey, you're going to be, the spell guy for Rhamondre, but we're going to use you as the number one return man or whatever.
So from what I'm seeing, he is ranked running back 19, did I see? Sitting around guys that are above him, Joe Mixon, Kenneth Walker. So very good value still.
Yeah.
Guys that were below him, he was 64th overall. Aaron Jones is ahead of him. Right below him, David Montgomery, James Conner, DeAndre Swift. So, I mean, there's still value there, but you figure what? Pick 64. What is that, 5th round, 6th round?
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Give me a starting running back in the 5th or 6th round with pass catching ability.
Yeah, who can be an RB1 on any given week.
Yes. And I think they're going to feed.
Yep.
I think they're going to feed him a lot. So I think he's one of those guys worth going after.
Yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly, because another thing to remember too, now Rhamondre came into the league at like 23, so he's a little older running back. He's 26 now.
Yes, sir. Yep.
We rarely see running backs get paid big money by the team that drafted them.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I mean, most of these guys, if they stay with the team that drafted them, it's like a franchise tag or a 1-year thing, like we saw with Barkley and Jacobs. But they get let go.
Right.
They get that big second contract from another team. So for the Patriots to not even mess around with the situation and just pay the man, and he's even a little bit older of a running back, yeah, I think that speaks volumes to how they plan on using him this year.
I agree. I think ton
and
of
it's
value.
Smart. You've got Drake May. I think Drake May is a very good quarterback prospect.
That's fair.
I think he's got a very high ceiling that if they play their cards right and they don't ruin him, because you can ruin a rookie quarterback pretty damn quick.
Zach Wilson.
I think that they understand that. The idea is, let's get this run game, let's run everything through it, and let's ease this kid along. And because you don't take a guy that high in the NFL draft, you don't invest what you did into Drake May if you don't plan on him being your long-term future. So they're playing the long game, and I think that equates to a good short-term return on Rhamondre Stevenson.
Yes.